My damn
This is how
phone.
it started.
Wednesday night around 8:30, Nikki Sailor McCain is in her bedroom combing her hair. Her husband of 13 years, Tyler McCain, arrives home in a strange mood. For no apparent reason, Tyler McCain aggressively jumps on top of Nikki, holding her on the ground, then dragging her around, yelling, "What are you doing?" Nikki says Tyler McCain's eyes are glazed over. Nikki tries calming her husband, but it doesn't work, and he holds her down and begins hitting her in the face. The terror escalates over a 3-hour period, with McCain binding Nikki's wrists and ankles together with the tape, putting tape over her mouth so she couldn't speak properly, rolling his wife onto her stomach. Tyler McCain sits on her back, pulling her hair back, forcefully pulling her head back and telling her he's going to kill her.
This is the domestic incident. Why do they even call it domestic incident? It's an aggravated assault, but it doesn't end there.
After 3 hours of Tyler McCain allegedly beating his wife, the mother of his 4 children, hitting her about the face and head, blackening her eyes, pulling out her hair, and taping her mouth shut, he leaves her alone and goes into the kitchen. Getting herself loose from the bindings, Nikki grabs a rope, runs outside, and gets in her car. Tyler McCain chases Nikki out of the house and jumps onto the hood of the car, telling her to stop. Ignoring his demands, Nikki flees to the safety of her sister's home in Reading.
What a psycho. He jumps on her car to stop her from leaving after he's been beating her and terrorizing her and waterboarding her for hours. But this time, Dave Mack, joining us, Crime Stories investigative reporter, this time is different because she reports the violence. She reports the beatings, and they get photos of the beatings.
Nancy, in this particular case, we said she runs to her sister's house in Reading. It's her sister that lovingly says, "We've got to take you to the hospital. We've got to get this documented. You need help, for these injuries." And so while she's at the hospital, she makes the call, and a police officer arrives, and the detective actually has the foresight and the wherewithal to actually record exactly word for word Nikki Sailor McCain describing this horrific attack, how long it took. It was a 20-minute long interview with her talking, and it's shocking, Nancy, how she described what she had just did to her.
Okay, now what were you saying, Philip Dubé, about how this is not a screen test in Hollywood? I think I know why
25 people. Child.
at that press
25 people where?
All this was rushing through his mind, if he has any conscience at all. Or maybe he's like a frog. Have you ever held a frog and looked at it in the face? It just blinks. It's a cold-blooded creature, no emotions. Is that what's happening?
No, he does have an emotionally low IQ.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know.
What's up, Paul Anthony?
No actual evidence of this, but he reminds me of a classic meth addict. It's somebody who flies off the handle after a lengthy fix, and when he's trying to chase the dragon and trying to get another fix, he can't get it, so he acts out in a fit of pique and rage. And I have a feeling that this incident, if it's in fact true, was drug-fueled.
Dubé, it's amazing how you can do a hairpin turn from this is no Hollywood screen test to he's a meth head. Okay, there's no evidence at all that he's a meth head, but I guess you're digging really deep to explain his behavior at the presser. You know what? Technical legal term, screw his behavior at the presser.
Oh, y'all.
Let's get to the preliminary hearing. First of all, why there's a preliminary hearing, it confounds me. It's the state's worst nightmare. Typically, in most jurisdictions, the state can do an information just
How you doing
write
around
on
the
a
world?
notepad
Hi,
what charges
RL.
are going to be, or preferably a grand jury. That takes about 5 minutes. This preliminary hearing requires the state to put up witnesses to prove PC probable cause for the judge to bind the case over or send it to the correct court. For instance, you would send a murder case to traffic court. It would go to a felony superior court where only felonies are tried. That's what's happening here. So the defense is getting the first swing at the ball by cross-examining the state's witnesses. That's what's happening now. Listen.
A preliminary hearing to determine if Tyler McCain will go on trial for the murder of his wife, Nikki Chang Sailor McCain, has brought many witnesses to the stand, from family and friends to law enforcement and forensic experts. Judge Thomas Bender will determine if there is sufficient evidence for Tyler McCain to be tried for the murder of his wife. If the case against him moves forward, it will be the first no-body murder
I've been
trial in
exhausted
Shasta
lately,
County
but I'm
history.
here.
As of today, Nikki is still missing and presumed dead.
Well, brace yourself, Shasta County. Other jurisdictions have had plenty of no-body murder cases, so you know what? Get with it, or you won't be with it much longer. Elected District Attorney. Joining us now, two very special guests who have been to hell and back seeking justice for their sister, Nikki. With us, Kay Ford and Chloe Sealing. They have been enduring excruciating testimony in this preliminary hearing. Sisters, thank you for being with us. I just got to know off the top, how do you go home and actually fall asleep after hearing this evidence? Kay Ford, how do you decompress after all of this each day?
Cousin, what's up? Hi,
Hi,
Amir. Jennifer Davis, how you doing?
Kids activity.
Baby, what's up, baby? What's up? What we doing?
Refocus our
Scovie,
our
what's
thoughts a little bit,
popping?
but it is once we're laying down, it's taking all the information in is a lot.
Now joining us, Brian Fitzgibbons, Director of Operations, USPA Nationwide Security. Fitzgibbons leads a team of highly specialized investigators who focus and specialize in
How y'all doing
locating
tonight?
missing people all around the world. You
Popping,
can find him at USPAsecurity.com, former Marine.
Scovie, I don't really know what that
Iraqi
name like. Is that a
war
male or a
veteran.
female? That's what I need
He's
to know.
seen it all.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Fitzgibbons, you know what? Here's the problem. One of the problems with a no-body case, as debate has pointed out on many occasions. I've seen this trick done in court, where in the closing argument, the defense attorney will say, hey, is that the victim coming in the door right now? And they wait to see if the jury turns to look. And if they do, the defense will argue, see, you're not even convinced she's dead, much less who did it. But don't you think by now, Fitzgibbons, she would have been found?
Absolutely, Nancy. And, this has been well over a year that we've been looking for Nikki. And what I'll tell you is, in this preliminary hearing, the DA has brought forth 9 investigators from law enforcement from various disciplines that have methodically laid out the case.
You just got off work.
Tyler McCain.
And what's up, baby?
Forensic case.
All my
proving
favorite
there
people
was,
in
in
here
fact,
tonight.
murder that took place. So these crucial things have happened. On top of that, you have 5 members of McCain's friends and family that have taken the witness stand, and their stories have contradicted statements that they've made to the police. So I think
we
things
really
are
need
going
the
very
Lord,
well
right?
for the district attorney here to get that probable cause from
You
the
haven't
judge.
seen me live outside of tarot reading. I be trying to do them sometimes.
Chloe Saley texted with
That's kind of why I was like, let me just go live. I'm just folding my clothes.
Until May 19th, family members talked with Nikki on May 18th.
That's
On
it,
May
the
19th, she
426, man.
answered
Hit
a
it from me,
text from
man.
Chloe. Nikki told Chloe about domestic violence in the relationship and McCain going so far as to point a gun directly at Nikki and threatening to kill her and her family members.
Oh, I just keep y'all. Your girl is.
Control.
I'm tired. I'm glad I laid down and rested what I did.
Are relying on credit cards
That
just to get
definitely
by
worked tonight.
for essentials. If you see your debt growing every day, you're not alone. Americans owe over $1 trillion. You may have hesitated to call American Financing to avoid losing your low mortgage rate. Well, there is good news. Their Smart Equity Loan lets you tap into your home's equity without touching your current mortgage. It offers a fixed rate and one predictable monthly payment. No upfront or hidden fees, and it only takes 10 minutes to get started. If you need help, call 866-888-0344. Repeat, 866-888-0344. Or go online to AmericanFinancing.net/Nancy to learn more.
Deputy Alicia Brito says he found Nikki's pickup on Highway 36 the night of May 25th. Shocking. The deputy says there is a strong odor, the smell of death coming from the covered truck bed. The smell of decomposing flesh coming from inside the truck bed is coupled with a swarm of small flies and gnats. Also in the truck bed, a white sheet with blood stains.
Yes, I'm
dark
listening
colored
to
hairs.
Nancy.
There are also smears of dried blood in the truck bed and strands
So
of
it's
dark
Scovie,
hair
you're a male.
underneath a piece of trim. The blood and hair belonged to Nikki Saley McCain.
And during this preliminary hearing, including grisly testimony, specifically blood testimony, has been excruciating for Nikki's sisters. Straight back out to Chloe and Kay. Chloe, what has been the most difficult moment in the preliminary hearing? I mean, I don't know if you are at all like me, but my first brush with the law.
It took a lot for me to even get up out of bed, y'all.
Was at my fiance's trial.
I'm exhausted.
A lot of it,
I'm still being replenished. I'm gonna
but
say
the
that.
parts I do remember,
I'm gonna say that.
they changed my life forever. There's no turning back.
Environments will really have an effect on you, like.
Court. What has been the most vivid moment in your mind in the courtroom so far?
There were actually two incidences. One was when the sheriffs, they played a recording of Nikki's voice about what happened that night. That was really hard to hear because it was just hearing her voice, because we weren't able to hear her voice for such a long time. And then also just the evidence about how
That's
much
what
blood was in the
environments
back of that truck bed
want out of you.
hit me really hard.
Yes,
because,
good luck. You said she wants to get married.
I didn't realize
So sweet,
how
baby.
much blood and then was in the back of
Right.
that truck, and just, you know, when you think of blood, you automatically think.
Take your time. Make sure you understand her mental health and stuff like that. But I mean, definitely go for it if you want to go for
Does
it.
that indicate to you, Chloe, that that is where she was killed?
I believe that shortly after whatever happened to her, whatever they did to her, I think that she was placed in the back of that truck bed to die.
To K4, Nikki's sister also, what has been the most disturbing moment during the preliminary hearing for you?
Listening to the evidence technician describe decomposition and the smell and kind of those details, she did such a good job with
Honey's
being
mother
professional
suckers
and
can't
just very scientific with it. But you know, just thinking of our sister in that state was difficult to hear, because you know, at the end of the day, this hearing has been about decomposition of her body potentially. So those details were, you know, just kind of thinking that we're describing our
You
sister.
support her together?
That was pretty grisly for me.
You're 50. How old is she?
Regarding the garage floor, what did you learn, Kay, about the garage floor?
It sounded like a lot of activity happened. Witness testimony about looking like it had been cleaned. Also, the blue star light being used by the evidence technician, indicating that there was blood. They didn't specify if it was animal or human, but as far as I knew, they weren't butchers and they weren't handling animals in the garage. So that to me definitely indicated that it could possibly be a crime scene, and it's not a place that I remember them cleaning a lot. So to have the garage cleaned, it's pretty telling for me.
When you refer to they,
Thank you.
what were you talking about?
I'm glad you love her. That's beautiful to find somebody that you love and they
The
love you.
witness testimony so far have indicated, you know, the people living
I
there,
know.
which would be Tyler and
That's a blessing, definitely.
maybe someone who helped him, but so far the cleaning sounds like it had been done by Tyler.
I got a question to Chloe and Kay. First to you, Chloe. Does he even look at you in the courtroom, Chloe?
No, he doesn't look.
Yeah. What about it, Kay? Does he even meet your gaze?
No, he for the most part had his head down in his hands, and he hardly looks up at the witnesses. I did notice, there was a witness last week that
No, I don't have anybody I love.
more than he had with
Everybody I love
witnesses,
betrayed me.
as well as when they were displaying some pictures of his home.
Except for
did
like
cover
some of
the
my friends. I have like a
projector
couple
screen
friends
during those
that I've
pictures.
managed to keep
But
a
other than that,
friendship
no
with.
eye contact with us whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm blessed, you know,
surprised
I'm not
if it's a
gonna
whole
lie.
other thing. If you're
But
not
love, no, I don't have a
being
love like
someone less powerful than you, much smaller, less cunning than you are. When you're actually
Sometimes I wish I
born
did, man.
with equals, it's a lot more difficult to be a bully. Now joining us, special guest
I got these
Jeffrey
at the drugstore.
Gentry,
These are cute.
forensic
They're really
certified
comfortable. That's what
bloodstain
makes
pattern
these great.
analyst, senior crime analyst, and death investigator, former toxicology lab analyst, and author of Forensic Science, Applications to Death and Crime Scene Investigations, and specifically author of Bloodstain Pattern Analysis. Jeffrey Gentry, I just want you to hear one more fact about the blood pattern. Listen.
During a check of Nikki's Avalanche, the vehicle is put up on a lift where investigators discover blood pooled on top of the fuel tank. Further inspection reveals there was so much blood, some of it dripped down from the fuel tank. On the passenger side of the truck, they found a plastic grocery bag containing a bottle of Southern Comfort whiskey.
Dear Lord in heaven, that mass quantity of blood, Jeffrey Gentry, can only mean one thing, but any guy on the street knows that. Give me your analysis about what was found in the truck bed and beyond.
These are all bad things, Nancy. So when you're working a no-body homicide case, you always have to consider where the blood is found and then also the quantity of blood that is found, because these are the things that you're going to want to use as evidence
I got this at the thrift store
convince the
too.
jury that the person is dead, even though there's no body. So blood on bed sheets, that's always a bad thing. You would expect blood to be in bathrooms, kitchens, or bathroom sink, and where blood might normally be found, but you don't expect large quantities of blood to be saturated into sheets, especially sheets that are tied up in knots. That's one of the ways that we actually transport bodies from crime scenes, is you wrap them up in a sheet, you knot it up, then you put them inside of a body bag. It makes it easier to carry a body. So that is very bad when you're looking at a person being missing and then you're finding blood on saturated into bed sheets. And then also the quantity of blood that's being poured out of the truck bed. Again, you shouldn't have blood in the back of the truck bed, and you should absolutely not have blood in sufficient quantities to pour a truck. And then they touched on also the smell of decomposition. That's the smell that the court smells many times. That's thousands of death cases. And it's something that you don't forget. That there's our smelling decomposition. Again,
Yeah, I have blonde hair.
This person.
We are friends,
You don't
Scobie.
have a lot of.
Straight out to Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. I want to go back to what's happening in the preliminary hearing. Tyler McCain, Nikki's abusive husband, had a major outburst where he stands up, starts screaming and cursing. What happened?
Well, in court, they showed pictures from the first search of the house, of Nikki and Tyler's house. And in that first video shot, you could tell that the house was very messy. There weren't a lot of pictures hanging up. But what he lost it over was the pictures that were shown from the second visit, after Nikki has been reported missing, and the police go back in and are searching the home again. This time, they find that the home is no longer messy. It's been picked up and cleaned. It has been staged with family photos now hanging on the walls. That's where he lost it, Nancy, because they were pointing out that, hey, man, when we came here the first time, right after she was reported missing, none of this was going on. This place was trash. But now, look at it. After she's gone, there's pictures hanging on the walls. So that's why he lost it.
You stated, Chloe, that for a large portion of the hearing, he would sit, or he sits with his head down, looking down. But isn't it true he had a major outburst, yelling and cursing?
Yes, he did. It was when Kay mentioned, it was when it was pictures of his house, and the evidence technician, she had mentioned that how the house had looked different from the first raid versus the second raid, and she just noticed that was unusual because when they went back the second time for the raid, they noticed that the living room was it was all cleaned up. It was very nice and neat and put together, and there were family photos hung up. And she just said she found that kind of unusual. And Tyler, he said a cuss word, and he said that she doesn't understand why he's there.
Okay, I believe his exact words are along the lines of, I don't even know why I'm even here. This is bull. This is bull. This is him standing up and yelling,
He
and the
looks like a
judge had to
murderer.
call for a recess so his lawyer could calm him down.
Yes, we are
okay,
friends
if
in
he would act
class.
like that in open court in front of a judge, what would he do when he is alone with Nikki?
Yeah, that outburst was pretty telling. And it wasn't, I mean, maybe the family pictures were triggering, but it was pretty telling because he had been keeping his composure pretty well throughout the hearings. So that outburst was definitely a surprise. And it was, like Chloe said, it was comparisons from the first search or raid compared to the one they went to.
You got 3
9 months
Levi's.
later, and she
I go
commented
thrift
the evidence.
shopping.
Like,
Oh,
she
I think they
commented
meant I go
on,
thrift shopping.
what a difference it was. The home was in disarray previously, and then when she came back, it was, like Chloe said, nice and tidy with family pictures all over the walls. And his outburst was asking what was wrong with having pictures of his family on the wall, and then what you had said.
You know, I'm very curious. Brian Fitzgibbons, I agree with you.
Oh, because I talked about thrifting. I get it now.
But at this point, with so many people looking for Nikki, combined with all the blood found in that truck, she's dead.
Yeah, connect the dots here, right? We have a tremendous amount of forensic analysis that's been done on this vehicle, as testified by various members of law enforcement. That's undoubtedly what led Shasta County just about a couple months ago to make the pronouncement that they believe that this is now a murder case. So, I think that there's sufficient evidence here to say that.
I'm from Chicago.
Please join us on our mission to find missing people, especially children.
I'm in Georgia.
To solve unsolved homicides. If you're on the go, catch us on your favorite podcast app where you can get all of our content where we, in our own way, seek justice.
I mean,
I want to talk about the
Gaylan's
DNA evidence. It's my understanding
very gay
that,
down
and
here.
Dave Mack, correct me if I'm wrong, that the sheet found in the bed of the truck covered in blood indicated, by looking at the sheet, that 3 of the 4 corners
Louisiana. Okay, I
had
think
been
we talked about
tied
this
in
before.
a knot. I would argue, and Jeff Gentry to you, that they hitched people. McCain got to help him get rid of the evidence. Each one took a corner of the sheet because DNA from 3 separate people are in each corner of the sheet where the knots have been tied. How does that work, Jeffrey?
That's exactly what you want to look at is where is the DNA on these sheets and who was involved. So if you have a knot on every single corner, that would absolutely suggest that there were multiple people involved, that there were multiple people carrying this body. As I mentioned before, when you are carrying bodies, it's not easy.
I'm still trying to understand what I did with my fucking shorts. I had a pair of black shorts.
And you transport them to where they need to go.
I don't know where those shorts are, y'all.
At that time, you're transferring.
Baby, what's up, Showtime?
Usually, of course,
Yes, it can be.
But these people most likely were not. And then if you're sweating and you're doing something active, there's more of a chance that you're going to transfer DNA to whatever you're touching.
Straight out.
I mean, I lived there my whole life. I feel like
Can either of you tell me about the
for
testimony
like most of my life, anyways. It's not really like.
Luis, he started his testimony.
Yeah, I think the devil is busy right now.
He had been, he had an ongoing relationship with Nikki, and it sounds like it went back as far as about a year or so before she went missing. And he very, very calm, very seems like a very nice gentleman. He said they had met at his place of work, which was at a cell phone store. and they become friends. He helped them with their cell phone service, and I think he noticed. I think he kind of noticed Nikki needed help, and
Baby, I feel like
think
it can be like any other
I think
like
he felt bad for her.
city,
And I think in that,
you know.
with how calm his demeanor was, with how comforting he seemed, I could see how Nikki felt like this was someone she could turn to when she needed it.
There is also Justin Corin. What do we know about Justin's testimony?
I felt like he was very
We
nervous.
just gotta stay strong,
I
y'all. No
feel like maybe he
weapon
might have
formed
known
against
more
us
than
will
he
prosper.
was
No,
letting
Bailey, I'm
on.
just
But I definitely
putting my
I
clothes
hope
away
that he was being
that I clean.
honest, but I feel like he wasn't being as honest as
You asked because
I
it
feel like he
is.
does know more.
This I moved a lot. I don't really have a dresser. I just hang my clothes up and I fold them and put them on the shelf for now. That's
also,
like
they played a video of him talking
I bought
to
this
police.
in Texas, I think.
And in it,
And like
in this video that was
it's just
played in
convenient to
court,
kind of keep like my
Karen
bras and
says
my
that
underwear
he was
in
asked by
this
McCain
instead
a
of
few
like,
days after
you know.
Nikki goes
I don't really
missing
want to buy a
to
dresser because
help
I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here.
disappear the Chevy Avalanche and whatever was inside of it.
These are all my
And
socks, y'all.
they pointed out that
There's some of my
Tyler
socks.
McCain is letting him live on the property for free. Then he starts crying in the
Welcome
video
back.
when cops press him for information, saying his mom lived with him. He didn't have anywhere to go if something happened to him. I mean, that's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's true, but I'd like you to describe that. What happened?
It sounded like Mr. Karen is kind of in a dependent situation with Tyler. He lives on the property, and it does sound like he's pretty much living rent free. You know, and he was kind of a right-hand man for Tyler. He helped around the house, on the property, fix cars, whatever Tyler needed. And it does sound like without Tyler's, I guess, graciousness to let him live there, he would eventually be homeless and have nowhere to park his trailer. And he did mention his mom is not doing well, and his mom is pretty dependent on him to, you know, provide a place to live, and he does take care of him. So, you know, it sounds like Mr. Karen, unfortunately, was just pushed in a corner. I mean, when you're dependent on someone, it's hard to say no when they need your help.
I understand that, but getting rid of a dead body is a whole nother can of worms.
Traveling buddy.
Just helping a friend. That
Like
is
you and your girlfriend are gonna travel.
obstruction of justice, tampering with the body, and could be a whole lot more. I'd be crying too. Let's go on to Felicia Nelson. That is the girlfriend, right?
If you don't accept me at my,
They're no
and you
longer
don't deserve me
together,
at mine.
but they were dating at the time.
What did she say? What was her testimony?
She did testify that on the night of
I like that part. That part is pretty. I'm gonna do a
or
part
May
like that.
17th into the early morning hours of the 18th. She did
No
hear
side
some
blasphemy, y'all.
movement in the back of the house. And the
Yes,
back
I do
porch,
enjoy high
which is where
vibrations
the master
music.
bedroom exits.
Thank you, baby. That's
And
what I'm
that's also
saying.
where Nikki
What
had
is he
parked
talking
her
about
car,
right there?
closer to the back master bedroom door. She
Give
said
me your
during this hour
prayers.
she did
I'm over
hear
here
some
talking about how
movement
exhausted I am and stuff like that.
including a thud towards
I
the
keep you on my
back
prayers,
porch of the
child. I
house
keep
and
all
the
my
rear of the
subscribers in my
truck.
prayers.
And that to me sounded like the bed area of the truck.
Now, I want to clarify, Felicia Nelson is Justin Karen's girlfriend, not Tyler McCain's girlfriend. And she also testified she was in the trailer, in Justin Karen's trailer, and it was not parked very far from the McCain home at all. And she heard noises coming from where the avalanche was
All
parked.
right, the laundry's folded. Let me
She
put this
later
in the
described
closet.
a thud heard in the early morning hours, May 18.
See what else I
May
can
18
accomplish
is the
before
day
it's time
Nikki
for me
goes
to get on
missing.
my
So that's
get
very
on my pony and go to
critical.
work.
Was Tyler McCain's defense attorney cross-examining all the witnesses?
Yes, he was.
And how did that pan out?
He
Oh,
was,
actually, I
I
want
think
you
he
in
was
the dryer.
strategic. He was
I'm
trying
not
to
done
poke
yet.
holes in some of their testimony or or
Very close to finish.
and I don't know the correct terminology, but almost sometimes, someone said it was 10 minutes, he might say, do you mean 15 minutes? Because you had said 15 minutes before. Things like that to kind of confuse the person and make them feel, like maybe they didn't remember correctly. But yeah, it's pretty crafty as far as, the cross and clarifying specific things that they had testified to.
Now, another point of Justin Caron's testimony that I found really interesting is that he stated he found Nikki's driver's license and credit cards on Tyler McCain's back porch, and that he gave them to Tyler McCain. And at the time he gave them to Tyler McCain, they were not burned or destroyed in any way. They were then later, the driver's license was later found burned in Tyler McCain's wallet. Isn't that true?
Yes.
What can you tell me about items found in Tyler McCain's mother's home?
There was a white comforter in their detached garage that had a lot of burn marks on it. And then there was also
Which I can see what you look like, Bale.
sweater
I'm gonna call you
that
Bales.
appeared to be burned as well.
Did either of you recognize the sweater? Did it belong to Nikki?
Like PALEZ, not BAAL.
It looked denim-like to me, but it
Like
could have just
Zales.
been, the
Jewelry store.
thread material. But I did not specifically recognize the sweater. But Nikki had a lot of clothes, so I wouldn't recognize every piece that she had anyway.
And there was also a note that was found too.
Thank you, Bailey. That's a wonderful question.
Okay, do you have it written down?
It was in a bin. It was in a bin that was in Jeanette's garage.
These are all like my jammies. I mean, these are the Hanes underwear. I sometimes wear these when I go to work, but I pretty much wear these like around the house.
And it read,
and this South Pole tank top is vintage. I actually have some matching South Pole
Who wrote that?
it looks like it could have been Tyler's
capris,
handwriting,
but I haven't worn them yet.
but they didn't say.
How did you guys endure the testimony about the discovery?
And then all of this stuff goes in my bathroom. This is a washcloth, some headscarves,
That was probably
this
one of the toughest things for me.
headband. All the headscarves and the headbands, they go in this
I had my fiance
little vanity case
sitting
thing I
next to me. I
have
just
with
wanted
all
to
my
clutch him onto his hand because it was
scarves
just
and
it was just
head
a lot.
wraps. This
Deputy
is a
stated
sleeping bonnet.
there was a strong
It has
odor
like
of
silk on the
smell of
inside.
decomposition.
It's kind of loose, but it still does.
Decomposing
gets the job
flesh
done.
coming from the truck
And then I
bed.
actually wash these
There
in the
was a
wash
swarm
in the
of
load
flies and
sometimes.
gnats.
Yes, I
Also
do
a
move
white sheet with
often. I mean,
bloodstains
that's
and
kind of been the
dark colored
historical
hair.
pattern.
And Nikki had
But I'm
beautiful,
trying to,
long, dark hair.
like,
There are smears of
I've been here
dried
for-
blood in the truck bed.
I've been here for 9
And there's
months.
dark hair.
So I kind of stayed here the longest, not at this particular rental, but in Atlanta. So I've been here for 9 months.
It has been definitively
It's like the longest I've
proven
stayed
that
somewhere in a
blood
while.
and the
So
hair
it's not really
belong
because
to
I like
your
it here. It's
sister,
more so because I tried to,
Nikki.
I basically decided
And
to hunker
my
down and
question
like
to you, Kay Ford, when you
just
hear
work
this technical evidence,
rather than
about
feel like,
blood
oh, well, if I
and
just
hair
move, I'll feel
and
better.
comparison,
Like, I got to the point where I was like, you know what, let me
it's
just
Nikki's.
work and see like how far I can get here, because no matter where I go, I'll have to get this work done. You know what I mean? I wore this shirt to bed last night. No,
So
I didn't wear this shirt to bed. I wore this shirt after I showered today and I went for a walk in this shirt. So I feel like this shirt,
And imagine,
I didn't really sweat on my walk, but it was
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
hot. Like I'll probably
it's
just end up washing this shirt again, but I just folded
Specifically
it just
about
because.
Luis, Philip Dubé, the witness,
I moved a lot like dealing with
now
my
he's
ex too,
saying he
because
had a romantic relationship with Nikki.
he would have me move to
I
be
guess
with
he is
him,
saying
and
that
then he
now,
would like break up
that
with me
his
and I would
DNA
leave.
is on the sheet.
And then it was a lot. I
He's
don't really
saying
want to go
that
over
was
all
from
that.
an
So
earlier
I made it
romantic
through it. That's all that
encounter.
matters.
But does he not understand? The crime lab can determine sweat versus touch DNA versus
This is
sperm.
definitely still clean. I literally
Right.
showered
So if
last
his
night and put this on
DNA
to
is over
sleep
in one of
in.
those knots tied,
This I could wear probably
he's going to be
to bed
proven
later
to be a liar,
with some
Dubay.
hair shorts. This one, I could probably wash
And that
this.
points immediately to third
No,
party
just-
culpability.
I'm gonna
And
think
in
about it.
California, in order to get that
I could probably
defense,
take
you have
another
to
walk
have
in
more than
this.
just.
I'm gonna actually put this with these shorts. I got some black shorts that I take
There has to be
that I,
some other
can
independent
wear to take
evidence
a walk in. So
linking
maybe
that
I'll
third
wear
party
this
to the
tomorrow
crime.
to take a walk.
And here, if you have biological evidence at the scene where the death reportedly occurred, that is enough to get that third party culpability instruction. And particularly at a preliminary hearing, that is enough to show the court that the death was at the hands of somebody other
1.5
than.
liter. I'm trying to drink a little bit more water this week, though. I think I was so dehydrated. It's like when I get to my job, I just drink coffee. I'll have like 1 to 3 cups of coffee. Usually I have 1 hot cup and then I put the next 2 cups over ice. But like, that's not drinking water, you know? I need to like drink more water at work, so
Is that just to conveniently explain away why his DNA
that's something I
is
want to
on the
work
sheet
on.
used to
Because I'm
transport
still
the
like
dead body?
doing this, and
Nancy, abuse
I know
victims
this is
do
like,
not
I feel like my
have
body
affairs.
is starting
They
to
are
like
terrified
reject
to
this a
even
little bit, but
smile
I've
at
been kind
somebody
of
in
under a lot of
public.
stress.
If the abuser is looking at them, the abuser
Go
questions,
be
where did you have
well.
lunch? Did you talk to somebody? What did you say
Sorry.
about them? Abusers
I'll turn it
are
down a little bit.
pathologically jealous. So no, I have a hard time
I'm
believing
saying
that
that at
you
work,
were
I usually
like,
only drink
I have
coffee.
an affair.
Like I work overnights, I'll get there, I'll make a hot cup of coffee, I'll drink that, and then I'll make like at least 1 more cup usually. Sometimes I just do it with 1, but I mean, I'm there for like 6 hours. I don't really want to think about that right now, but I just try to make the time, I just try to take it easy, you know. But I usually have like 2 cups of coffee and I don't really drink water at work. And I think that's been starting to catch up with me because water helps you like purify, you know, even on an energetic level.
There was anything in the truck that needed to disappear, and did the truck need to disappear?
I'm gonna go get the rest of these clothes. I think
McCain answered
dryers.
yes. The defense asked Ripley if he was offered amnesty for his testimony. Ripley
Oh, and I was
said
saying my
he
body
did
is starting to
because he
reject
hadn't done
this.
anything wrong.
Like
Ripley
I
says
stopped
he
weed
met
and
with
I
his
stopped
nephew
alcohol
later
at
that
the
evening
beginning of
as
this
Trevor
year,
on McCain's
which is very
property,
awesome.
and told
I'm
him
so proud of
nothing had to do
myself.
with
9,
whatever was
almost
going
10
on.
months, no
He didn't know
weed.
until the
That's
next
huge
day
for me.
the
I used to be
avalanche went
addicted to
missing
weed.
until he saw it on the news the next day.
Philip Dubay, defense attorney, how can the defense possibly fight back against Ripley's testimony? Ripley says he asked the
But because
husband,
I've been kind of
McCain,
stressed and like working a lot,
is
I
there
kind of got on
anything in
these
the
a little
truck
bit too
you
hard.
open up?
And I
he
know
says,
it's not
yes.
really healthy, and my
So do we
body's
need to get
been
in the
starting
truck?
to
And he
reject
said,
it.
yes. What do you do with that? That's just
Yes,
like
I do,
somebody dropped a
Bailey.
bomb in your lap.
That presupposes that you believe the witness.
So do you live in Louisiana still, or are you just from
You have to
Louisiana?
find the testimony is credible. And
Does
what do we
anybody have a
know?
question? I'll
Other
answer it with the
people who
cards,
were intimate.
since we're all just
And
chilling.
I find it astonishing to suggest that it could have only been Mr. McCain. Normally, if there were past relations, you wander the linens. But the fact that there is fresh DNA from other people on that sheet, I don't care what anybody says. when
Now
they're
think
on the
about it.
stand.
Drop your questions in the chat. I'm gonna go get the rest of the clothes out of the dryer.
Debate. The DNA is in the corners of the edges of the sheet. They're clearly, Dave Mack, where the sheet has been knotted to help carry Nikki's body. Explain the DNA found on the sheets, Dave Mack.
Nancy, when they got that sheet out and they were examining each of those corners, as you mentioned, there are 3 knots in this sheet. In the corners, they've got separate DNA profiles from different individuals in those knots. They're not all the same. So you've got 3 different people leaving their DNA on the knots that are tied in the sheet that also has Nikki Haley McCain's blood and hair. So, and of course, we've got her husband, his is all over it, and then we've got the other gentleman mentioned. So it's the knots that were tied by these individuals in
You
the
live
sheet.
there,
By the way,
okay.
it was found in the back of her truck that was sitting on the side of the road with a cover over the truck bed.
Okay, Jeffrey Gentry, blood spatter analyst, you would have a field day with that. And did you hear Dubé trying to tune up and say that there wasn't enough blood to prove she's dead?
One, there shouldn't be blood in the back of a truck bed. There shouldn't be blood all over a sheet. And then there definitely should not be enough blood and body fluids.
I work at a nightclub.
That is very concerning.
I'm basically like an assistant floor manager, and I also bar back.
You're absolutely wrong.
I work at the door. I do a lot there. I do like whatever they ask me to. I literally do everything from sell $2,000 sections to rich scammer niggas, and I also fucking clean up, throw up, like whatever needs to be done. I do it. It's crazy. I do whatever. Child, whatever they ask me to do, honey, I be doing it.
They're never gonna be found.
I get
there's no easy
fucking
way
yelled at. I do all
to
types of
begin
shit.
that conversation with
I
this
deal with a lot of
forensic
shit there.
evidence. And the witness
It's been
statements,
kind of stressing me out
by
lately,
the way, lead us to
we got
believe
this, y'all.
that
We
their
got
loved one
this.
is indeed deceased. And, this has got to be just a horrific experience through this preliminary hearing for Nikki's family to sit through listening to all this evidence brought before them.
Chloe, I don't know how you guys are enduring it. I mean, I only sat through a very short portion when I testified.
No, it's not a gentleman's club. It's actually a Mediterranean restaurant and a hookah lounge.
How are you?
But we have like DJs and we have like a club area. And we're open till 6 in the morning.
It's definitely difficult. I just remember I have to do this, I have to say this because I have to be strong for
But
Nikki's
thankfully, no, we're
kids.
not a gentleman's
Because
club.
I want to know what happened and I want to know what they did to her.
Joining me, K4 and Chloe Saley, as difficult, as horrible as
And
it
sometimes
is
people be
for
thinking
them,
like,
they are enduring.
oh, I'll just sell drugs, I'll just be a stripper. Like, no, I feel like those lifestyles probably come with a lot.
Their sister, Nikki, and it ain't over.
I can only
yet.
imagine.
Nikki, sisters, thank you for being with us.
I can only imagine.
We wait as justice unfolds, and now we remember an American hero, Officer Hunter Simoncic, Kansas City PD.
These are some great yoga pants that I got at the thrift store. They're in wonderful condition. They've barely been used.
Christine.
Probably were like brand new, honestly. They're just, the quality is so good. The quality, y'all. The quality. They're so soft. And they're kind of like low-key long enough for me, which was great because a lot of pants are not long enough for me.
Breaking news tonight. Brian Kohberger's hidden essay reveals a plot to walk.
Yes, Bailey. Talk that talk. Literally, that part.
Thousands of
Hello.
pages of documents in his apartment.
That is so true.
Is it a harbinger?
And we
of
gotta
things
love
to come?
ourselves. Like, love on
Also,
yourself.
Kohberger
Stay close to God.
screaming from
I'm not
behind
just saying
bars,
these things.
"I
Like,
have
I do
mental health
things to
disorders.
do that.
Set
I
me
do
free."
that
And
also.
tonight are more Kohberger victims emerging. How many are
Keeping
there?
yourself
that we
first.
don't know
Keeping
about?
God first.
I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank
This is a
you
body
for being
shaper.
with
I got
us.
this at my old job when I worked at the beauty supply store. It was actually a good investment. It kind of, I've used it a lot. I will say that. I have like used it, not really to shape my body, but as like a black undergarment for different outfits.
Social media and speaking on the phone for hours with his parents every single day.
He is proud. This is right after the murders. Thumbs up, self-aggrandizing smile, all cleaned up. He just wants to have power over people. I'm ashamed of killing the shame. Okay, before I get into the thousands of pages that are being poured over as we speak, one
Great
revealing
investment.
his plot to get a reversal, have his plea deal
I got
overthrown.
these at the
And
thrift
guess
store as
what?
well. Y'all, I'm
It
a Griffin
includes claims
queen.
of prosecutorial misconduct. But before I can get to that, I've got to talk to Susan Hendricks joining us about the creepy selfies, the shirtless selfies, new ones that
Only
have just emerged.
17. That's crazy that they
Susan
said she was only
Hendricks,
17.
journalist, investigative reporter.
I love
author
this
of
shirt
Down the
too. I
Hill,
got this
why
at the
he
thrift
sent
store.
into the double murder
Why did I
in
stop
Delphi,
cannabis?
to
I'll
the
tell you.
controller.
Hold
I'd
on.
like to see the new selfies. Actually, that was a mistake.
Soul Eater t-shirt.
I'm gonna have to. Oh dear Lord.
This
I'm gonna
shirt
have to
is
report on it. Just hold that.
great.
What?
It's very soft
the heck?
and it's very like big. I like wearing this shirt.
Okay.
Sometimes I wear this to work with like shorts underneath it.
What this is
Super
and
cute.
why I'm having to look at Coburger without
Super
a shirt on.
protective too. The shirt has a lot of like
It's
spiritual
staring
energy
into the
for me,
camera. Why is this happening?
Yeah, they are.
which I'll get into at another
And
time.
for the company that looked through his data, his cell phone, they found out that he
Does
But
he
yeah.
actually have his pants pulled down toward his crotch so I can see
Yes.
more of his belly button hair? What? You know
I
what?
think
In
that's the first
Sports
store too.
Illustrated magazine,
Where,
they
baby?
put
Oh,
the,
I don't
sleeves
know.
pulled down just
It's probably whatever Death Star is based out, wherever that's based out of, it's probably from that country. It's probably Japanese because I feel like a lot of anime is from Japan. I thought you meant my tattoo. I was like, how did she see my tattoo with my robe on?
What is he thinking there? He didn't say
Why
what
did
he
I
said.
quit
One
cannabis?
there
Why
for
did I
himself. It
stop?
reminded me
I
of
stopped because I felt like
that movie, just loving himself.
I was
It's cringeworthy, disgusting.
using
There
it
was
to
one scene,
cope,
It's
and I was using it to
almost
escape.
what was on his phone.
You know,
I think it's
this, at least this doesn't alter your mind. It still does in a way though, because it like alters your dopamine receptors. But to answer your question, I stopped because I felt like I was basically I was trying to figure out why was I trying to escape from something if I could just try to face it instead. Maybe God could give me the strength to work on my life and like face some of my issues and some of my fears of like failing and fears of being alone and pain from the past, and like I just wanted to stop like masking how I felt because I realized that I felt like maybe cannabis was like holding me back more so than actually helping me.
And those stab wounds hit each other.
And I also stopped drinking at that time, at the beginning of the year. I never really drank a lot, but I would still kind of get into it sometimes. Like, especially when I went through like this really big breakup in 2024. I was like drinking wine, not like excessively, but I was working a lot and my job was really stressful at the time, and I would like get off work and I would go buy weed and I would buy like wine and I would drink the wine and smoke, and I went through a lot in the summer of 2024. How long has it been? It has been 9 months. Well, actually,
concentrated that the individual that is perpetrating this
it'll be 9 months on October 6th.
One spot where they cannot move because he keeps hitting the target every single time over.
Wow, it's only 9:02. That's not too bad.
And over again. Not only is he cutting her, incising her, stabbing her, he's also.
I wonder what I'm gonna wear tonight to work. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Like, what am I gonna wear?
Okay, guys. We're talking about.
Also, I smoked weed from the time that I was 13, 14, 15. When I turned 16, I stopped for about 6 months because I went away to boot camp and couldn't smoke there. And then when I was 17, I pretty much was back smoking.
And this guy.
18, 19, 20.
For his own enjoyment.
21.
Listen to what?
22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
We actually learned
Probably
all the truth from her autopsy.
when I was 29, when I was 28 and 29, I attempted to stop a couple times. I probably stopped for a total of 6 months during 28 and 29, 30, 31. When I was 31, I stopped for a couple months. 32, between 31 and 33, I probably stopped for maybe 6 months altogether, if that, but not consecutively. These were like month periods of like a couple, maybe I would stop for like 5 weeks and then I would end up, something would piss me off so bad. I would be like, I'm just gonna smoke. And I would smoke and then I would be like in a fog again. I still got a lot accomplished. Like it had an effect on me at the same time.
Some of her teeth were
So from the time I was 13 to the time I was 33, I pretty much, you could just say I smoked weed that whole time. And there was also a lot of times between, like when I was 26, I remember I was like, if I could just stop smoking weed for 6 months, I just want to give myself 6 months of, not being on weed. Because usually if a person smokes weed, let's be honest, they usually smoke it every single day. Let's just be for real. They smoke it every single day.
They were speaking with us a few days ago. He, as his wife is
I'm going to put my hair in some flat twists,
I don't know
y'all.
how she even speaks about it. What
It has gotten
strength this
potent.
woman has. He looks like
It definitely
he just
has.
wants to
Shadow Boy, how you
take the camera
doing?
and rip the head off. It just the anger seething in them. And do you blame them? Her teeth were stabbed out of her mouth.
No, you're talking about this child's day. Just let that sink in.
Just thinking about what I'm going to wear tonight. I think I'm going to wear these yoga pants. Those are super comfy. I think for a shirt,
And any one of us is the guy that's currently housed in Idaho.
I'll probably wear this like mesh shirt that I have in there.
Nancy, the brutality in not just Kaylee's,
I guess
but
with a
in all
bra
of these
underneath.
deaths is pretty much unimaginable.
And then for
you don't send your
shoes,
kids off to college and expect them to return.
I might wear
to,
my Ugg boots. Those are really
casket.
cozy and
It
comfy.
doesn't work that
What's
way.
up, Shadow Boy?
It's the most disgusting thing on the face of the planet. And this guy was given.
Sometimes I wish I had some little black sneakers to wear. I could wear my little ballet. I have these ballerina sneakers. They're like lace up. They're like hiking shoes, but they lace up like ballerina slippers. They're really dope. And they actually have like pretty good support. I think I might wear those with my yoga pants, the black mesh top.
There was a trail.
The prosecutors.
I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna wear to work.
Let me see it just got another thing, which I'm gonna get to, but I had to show these.
I'm gonna wear a head wrap tonight because I said, you know what, this week I'm gonna cover my hair at work because it's been way too much energy there lately.
His guilty plea, and we uncovered it
Like
in
bad
his
energy.
essays. But not only that, I just want you to stew on this for a moment. He's now claiming he has all these mental health issues and should be retried or set free. One of them is an eating disorder.
Well, that I can deal with. I'm not really,
Dr. Sherry Schwartz,
I don't really want to drink. Like sometimes if I'm like stressed out and like somebody at a table is like, take a shot with us, take a shot with us, take a shot with us. I sometimes feel like, fuck it, give me that shot. But I'll be honest with you guys, one time in June, that happened. This girl was like, take a shot with me, it's my birthday, da 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 da, because I had sold them their table or whatever at the door. And I was like, no, I'm not drinking, I'm detoxing. Mind you, I was like 6 months into the detox. And she was like, it's just one shot, da 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 da. And like I took it and I was like, you know what, it's crazy that you're saying this because I read a horoscope on Twitter the other day and it said, Libra, you need to take a shot. And maybe this is that shot. So I took it and it was so good. Like, y'all, I was like, it's just set my little soul, set me on fire. Like, that tequila. But then I think the next day I kind of felt like ick. And it was literally just one shot. And then like a month after that, the next day at work, I felt like I want a shot. So like, I don't know if that's like an addictive personality and like an addictive, like something in my genealogy or what. But I'll be honest with y'all, I think that next day, if I'm not mistaken, because normally like people will offer me shots all day, every day when I go to work. They're like, take a shot, you want a shot? You want to take a shot with us? Let me buy you a drink. And I just wasn't doing it the whole year. And then I think the day after that, I felt like, man, if somebody else offers me a shot tonight, I'm going to take it again because, that helped and that, and I think I did. And then I started to feel like convicted again because I was like, damn, Millie, I thought that you were. It does, baby. I was like, damn, I thought that you weren't drinking. What are you just you're gonna start taking shots and stuff like that? And I stopped. Like I didn't do it again. And I kind of felt it in my body by that second day. And it probably was literally like 2 shots. And I was like, yeah, see, this is why I don't drink. And then like a month after that, it was my boss's birthday, and they were like, "Take a shot with us," da, 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 da. And everybody was like turning up, and she had all this like Chanel and all these gifts, and they was throwing thousands of dollars in the club for her, and it was just like so much energy that I was like, damn, I don't want to be like left out of the party. So it kind of was like peer pressure, but it wasn't really peer pressure. It was more so like I was like, damn, I don't want to exclude myself. Like, it's her birthday, just celebrate her birthday. It's just an occasion. So I drank that night. And that night I took like 2 shots, and they were like 1942 shots. And then they had some like Ace of Spades champagne. So I had a little bit of champagne also. And I was like actually drunk from literally like 3 shots of alcohol. And that's really when I was like, wow, I felt so bad, y'all. Like the next day I felt so bad. Not like I was hung over, but I felt like how um it like dulled my energy, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt the effects of it. And I felt really bad that I had done it, but I also ended up being grateful that it happened because I feel like it really just illustrated to me even stronger exactly why I don't drink. And I love you too, Max G. And since then I didn't drink again. But so basically this whole year, I mean, I have not drank, and I definitely have had plenty of opportunities to do so. And I'm being very honest with y'all about those 2 nights in June. But yeah, I think they were both in June. It was either no, the girl who offered me the shot was in June, and then a month later it was my boss's birthday. So it was June and July, but 2 different occasions. And I was doing all this research. I was like, damn, if you're like sober and something like that happens, like, can you continue counting your sobriety? And what I found online was that yeah, you can, because if you like slip up with something, but you are still determined to keep it going, you have to look at the overall pattern and like your commitment to whatever it is that you're working on. So I was like, okay, what's up, Malcolm? I was very grateful actually for that experience, because I was like, oh, okay, like this is why I don't drink. And it can be very tricky like in that environment. So back to what you said, Bailey, it's not really like, oh, it's hard being around people that drink. Like I said, I didn't ever really have a drinking issue. My issue was with cannabis, with smoking weed. And frankly, people smoke weed in that club every single night. You know what I'm saying? And I smell it and I see it and I'm around it and I'm not tempted. I literally, when we're closing and the DJ and the servers are breaking down weed, rolling up and stuff and smoking, like, I'm not interested in smoking with them, because I feel like when it comes to the weed, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I have been like kind of stressed. I was kind of dealing with a lot of stress coming out of this last week, to where I felt like, damn, I just want to smoke some weed. But then when I kind of like smell it or think about like the taste of it or how I'll really feel, I feel like I don't want to smoke weed. You feel me? And then I'm also very proud of the fact that I managed to actually stop smoking weed. And I also know how addictive it is, that once you kind of do it, you'll be back doing it. And I just felt like, I'm not doing that. But I'm still building up my strength, I'm still building up my strength. Thank you, Bailey. Let me drink some water right now since you said that. Yeah, I do. I need a lot more water, y'all. But I'm trying to step it back up this week. It's so good for your health too. Like, it really helps you. Thank you, Bailey. You're very sweet for that. Max G said, going through it a bit. People like you keep my strength up. Thanks for sharing your experiences with us. You're welcome. You said, I have a drinking problem myself. I do way too much. Just know you're not alone. You're not alone. And, don't beat yourself up. Just, take yourself serious. Do different research if you feel like that will help you to look up, information about it. Stuff like that. We all working on something, bro. Don't feel bad. Just stay strong. You know what I mean? Probably hurting. I know I was hurting bad. I'm still hurt. I don't know if y'all could look in my eyes and see. I'm still hurting. I'm still hurt.
You know, just cut the crap, okay? You don't. You don't. Help them. Chris is done joining me direct court case.
I'm hurt. No, seriously though. I'm fucking hurt. But I'm a survivor. Thank you, Max G. Yo, Trey, why you put a sad face in the chat? Thank you, baby. John Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, just look at the.
Nigga probably on meth or something. He came in here talking about meth. Clearly nobody in here or in the chat is on meth, John Smith.
It just goes to show, you know,
If that's your real name.
there's nothing there. I mean, these pictures look like they just came out of the movie Zoo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He has been projecting this persona for so long.
Mm.
And now
I was thinking like my birthday is in a few days, and I was thinking like, damn, maybe I'll get a henna tattoo on my hand, not a permanent tattoo. And then I was like, damn, maybe you need to schedule a massage. I know I found this one masseuse. She looked like she had like, she was like trauma informed, and she knew about like, she did like post surgery healings. Like it looked like she had a lot of skill, you know, in terms of like actually feeling someone's body and like dealing with the pain in their body. My B-Day is on September 27th. It's on Saturday. And I didn't take off work. I said, girl, just go to work. Just go get your money. I just think maybe I should, you know, I'm either tell people it's my birthday or I'm going to get a tiara that says happy birthday, like at the dollar store. That way people feel inclined to tip me on my birthday while I'm selling them the sections for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like, make sure you show some love too, you know. You're a Gemini. I'm a Libra, so we're both air signs. You do massages.
He says, I want to be like American Psycho. And then you can juxtapose that picture, maybe. But it's going to be a tough sell to the judge. And I think that would be
We are there that we don't know about. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
He was very socially inept and speaking on the phone for hours.
Yeah, I'm glad I got, I don't have any baby daddies.
Is proud. This is right after the murders.
I don't have any children.
Self-aggrandizing smile, all cleaned up.
Oh, no, you're a Taurus. Okay, no, I'm a Libra.
Okay, before I get into the thousands of pages that are being poured over as we speak,
I don't. Does it look like I have children?
his plot to get
Like, I literally don't have children. Do you see children in here? I don't have any children.
and guess what? It includes signs
Do you see any stretch marks? I don't have any children. Do you see a C-section? Section. I don't have any children.
new ones.
Clearly your mama does, though. She had a heathen child.
Journalist, investigative reporter, author of Down the Hill: My Descent into the Double Murder and
Yes.
to the
Beautiful flab for this. There's actually no flab here.
actually that was in the statement.
I don't know where you saw flab. You saw healthy, like I have healthy weight on my body. I went through a lot last year. I got very skinny. And now I'm like, I'm just eating and just laying, you know, eating and sleeping and working like I should be. You friggin' bumbleclot. Thank you, Yao Trey.
Flexing and staring into the camera. Why is this happening?
Yeah, they are cringeworthy. And for the company that looked through his data is self-regulating.
Does he actually have his pants pulled down toward his crotch so I can see more?
All right, though, you guys, I think I'm gonna try to take care of a couple things. I was trying to see if y'all had any questions. Dude, Yao Trey, I appreciate that. I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on the Lord, and I'm waiting on somebody that he gonna send to me that's gonna truly cherish me, y'all. Cause people be trying to come back acting like they trying to spin that block, and I'm just like, mm-mm. I'm just like, no, you're playing games. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna take care of both things. For one, I'm gonna put some flat twists in my hair so I can put this head wrap on later. The next I don't think I'm getting any more tattoos. Oh, that light made me look like I was bald right there. I'm not bald right there. I don't think I'm getting any more tattoos. I don't really regret my last tattoo, but the last tattoo I got was the what do they call it? Like the wowzer. That was the one that was just fucking cherry on top of everything, apparently. And that was in 2021. I haven't gotten any tattoos since then. Y'all, I have 2 pimples on my nose, 2 little bumps. Oh, the neck tattoo. It's from an album cover called Down to Earth by Raj G. It's basically a bear. He has a beat machine, and he's also smoking a spliff or a joint. It's a bear. It's a beat making bear. Thank you all for being here. I actually really enjoyed this live stream. I'm glad that we got to tap in with each other. I'll be back. I want you guys to have a good night. Stay encouraged in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Must just be some type of hard time right now, you know, but we'll get through it because the Lord is faithful. All right, I'll see you guys later. If y'all want to follow me on Instagram, it's at She's Chasing God. At She's Chasing God. If y'all want to tap in with me there, sometimes I post over there. And I also have a page called Mango's Tarot. You can tap in with me there as well. I don't really post there as much, but yeah. Thank you, Bailey. I will talk to y'all later. Stay strong.